Today we're looking at creating an about screen or a credit screen. That credit screen will contain scrolling text, which has a list of contributors to the game, the people who created the game or contributed in other ways. So this first example is quite simple. I've just got my stage here with a black background, so I'm going to use a lighter color. So select a light color for your fill color, then select the text tool. Okay, and we're going to start writing a list of contributors to the game. So I'll just say thanks to ... and just making this up, Mary Jo, Bob Smith, and Phil Johnson. There we go. So I've got my text here. It's very light colored still. And I'm going to convert this text to a symbol, because for a motion tween, we want to be working with a symbol. So right click and go to convert to symbol. And you can just put in anything there. So about text. Okay, so we've got our symbol now. And we're going to look to create a motion tween using this symbol. So looking at my timeline here, this is my timeline. In frame 1, I want the text to start off the screen, or at least most of it off the screen. And then I'm using a motion tween. I want the text to scroll right to the top of the screen. So I have to think about how fast or slow I want the credit scrolling to be performed. And just at a guess, I'm going to pick about 7 seconds, which, using the current frames per second on my program, which I set to 30, that's going to be 210 frames. So 210 frames at 30 frames per second will take 7 seconds to complete. So looking at my timeline, I'm going to scroll all the way across to 210, and I'm going to right click and go insert frame. Okay, so this is my ending frame, my starting frame here, my text is at the bottom. At the end of my motion tween, I want the text to be at the top. But before we do that, let's just right click on the frames there and go create motion tween. And then select the last frame and go to insert keyframe all. And now on our last frame of the motion tween, we want to move this symbol right up the top. And I'll just have to scroll up a bit. So the text is completely off. Okay, now we're almost done. One thing we will want to do is we want to, after this animation is complete, flashes are automatically going to go to the next scene in your program. To prevent that, in a frame just after 210, we're going to put the command stop. So what that's going to do is, after this animation runs, the scrolling credits run, we're going to stop on this scene. We don't want to go to the next scene because that's what Flash is going to do automatically. So I'm going to create an actions layer. So in the bottom left of my timeline, I can click on new layer, and I can rename that to actions because I'm storing action script code. And if I just go to the frame just past 210, right click and go insert keyframe, and then I'm going to insert some action script in that. So I'm going to go Windows Actions, and I'm just going to type the command stop, and I'll just save that, and let's run it and just see how fast or slow the scrolling is. We may want to adjust that. Okay, that's reasonably quick, but not too quick. So depending on the credits and the size of your font, you may want to adjust the scrolling speed of your credits, and that would be adjusting how many frames your motion tween takes up.